severe storm struck a megacity in Pakistan. Hawaii experienced the strongest flooding in 20 years. Australia was thrown into chaos by a tropical cyclone of rare intensity. And in the Canary Islands, the islands of eternal spring, snow fell. In this episode, we will show what climate events occurred in the world over the past week and what lies behind them. United States. Starting from March 16th, the strongest flooding in more than 20 years was observed in the Hawaiian Islands. It was caused by a Kona low-type cyclone, a special atmospheric system that disrupts the usual circulation of winds and brings prolonged heavy rains to the islands. Oahu and Maui, the two most visited tourist islands of the archipelago, suffered the greatest damage from the disaster. In less than 2 days, up to 500 millimeters of precipitation fell on soil already saturated with rain. Rivers overflowed their banks, flooding vast areas, including residential neighborhoods and resort zones. In the northern regions of Oahu, more than 5,500 people received evacuation orders. The Hawaii National Guard was deployed to assist residents trapped due to the rapid rise of water. Rescuers evacuated people from rooftops and flooded homes. More than 200 people were rescued by emergency response services. Due to the threat of a dam breach on the northern coast of Oahu, on March 20th, the authorities declared a state of emergency. In Hawaii, hundreds of homes were damaged due to the raging elements. Roads, schools, hospitals, and other social infrastructure facilities were also damaged. According to preliminary estimates, the damage amounted to more than $1 billion. Spain. An unusually powerful storm, Teresa, struck the Canary Islands on March 18th, causing serious chaos. The tourist region, known for its sunny weather and mild climate, found itself under the impact of extreme forces of nature. Transport was paralyzed, dozens of flights were cancelled or redirected, and ports were closed. In the area of Izaña, on the island of Tenerife, storm wind gusts intensified up to 122 kilometers per hour. Teide National Park was covered with snow, and icicles even appeared in resort areas, although the average minimum temperature in March here is plus 15 degrees Celsius. Snow led to road closures. In the northern part of the island, a landslide damaged a water supply channel, causing disruptions in water supply. And in the municipality of Arrecife on the island of Lanzarote, waves up to 5 meters high damaged embankments, piers, and beach infrastructure facilities. 2 people on a boat were rescued from the raging sea off the coast of the island of Fuerteventura. Record rainfall on the island of Gran Canaria led to sudden floods and landslides. In Vega de San Mateo, more than 100 millimeters of rain fell in less than 1 day, and a massive rock blocked the main mountain road, GC60. The Canary archipelago has a volcanic origin, and its islands are cut by deep, dry gorges, which during heavy rains turn within minutes into turbulent streams carrying stones and mud, posing a serious threat to people. Rainwater in the municipality of Mogan flooded a gorge, and approximately 200 residents of the town of Arganegin were left isolated. The flooding led to damage to a pumping station in the municipality of La Aldea de San Nicolas, leaving the population without water. In Galdar, the Los Perez Dam overflowed, which has happened only for the 3rd time in its entire history. Malawi. Starting from March 16th, heavy rains struck Malawi, leading to large-scale floods and landslides across the country. As a result of the disaster, infrastructure was affected, roads were washed out, and water and power supply systems were disrupted. At hydroelectric power plants, part of the equipment had to be shut down for cleaning from debris carried by rivers. As a result, the generated capacity at some hydropower plants decreased by 1/4. In the central region of Malawi, in Lilongwe district, a large-scale landslide with an area of about 36 hectares was recorded. The affected area is no longer suitable for living and agriculture. Due to the rapid rise of water, livestock and poultry died. And in Nkata Bay district of the northern region of the country, the port sustained serious damage. 2 children died in the city of Mangochi in the southern region when they tried to cross an overflowing river. In total, across the country, at least 13 people died as a result of the disaster, and dozens of people were injured. Pakistan. A powerful storm hit the multi-million city of Karachi in Pakistan on the evening of March 18th. Almost all districts of the city were affected by the disaster. Winds with speeds of up to 97 kilometers per hour tore off roofs, billboards, knocked down trees and power line poles. The storm caused damage to 645 transformer feeders, as a result of which 70% of the system of the power supply company, K Electric, went out of operation, leaving most of Karachi without electricity. Building walls suddenly collapsed, already weakened, according to eyewitnesses, by recent rains. Dozens of people were buried under the rubble. By late night, the bodies of 19 dead were recovered, and residents transported the injured and the dead to the city hospital by their own efforts. In rural areas of Sindh province and the bordering parts of Balochistan, heavy rains and hail destroyed crops, as well as mango and date orchards. In a number of districts of Balochistan province, water flooded lowlands, and in mountainous sections of the N50 and N70 highways, landslides created problems for traffic. In the city of Karachi and other areas of Sindh, storm winds, thunderstorms, and hail caused the deaths of at least 24 people. Another 60 people were injured. Australia. On March 16th, a tropical cyclone, Narelle, formed in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland. The cyclone rapidly intensified and reached Category 4, but just before making landfall, it weakened slightly, and on March 20th struck the coast of northern Queensland with sustained winds of about 200 kilometers per hour, corresponding to Category 3 tropical hurricanes on the Saffir-Simpson scale. According to the Australian Tropical Cyclone Intensity Scale, this storm became the first event of such strength on the Cape York Peninsula since 1899. Fortunately, Narelle passed between Lockhart River and Cowan, two major settlements, without causing them significant damage. In the northern part of Cowan, in the Archer River area, 400 millimeters of precipitation fell in less than 24 hours. The water level under the recently constructed Archer River Bridge rose from 5 to 13 meters within a few hours. Hundreds of homes were left without power due to fallen power lines, and mobile communication also stopped working. Coastal roads up to the city of Cairns were flooded by the storm surge, which washed away trees, sections of embankments, pedestrian paths, and benches into the ocean. On some beaches, wind and tides created sand deposits. Due to blockages and overflowing rivers and streams, many roads were closed. Cooktown Airport became the only accessible hub for transporting people and goods to isolated settlements. The tourist town of Port Douglas, which serves as a gateway to the famous Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree rainforest, also felt the effects of the tropical cyclone. The beach was eroded, even though it is about 400 kilometers from where Narelle made landfall. The Northern Territory of Australia also suffered from the disaster. On the night of March 22nd, the cyclone struck the eastern part of the top end, where people were still recovering from recent floods. In the city of Katherine, most buildings had already been cleared of mud and debris, but cleanup work was partially halted due to the threat of new flooding.
Inaugural meeting. At the meeting, we approved...
The city mayor noted that volunteers were simply exhausted. For 2 weeks, they had tirelessly dealt with the aftermath of the previous flood wave, and now they were forced again and again to clear the same areas. The cyclone soon weakened and turned into a tropical depression, but as it moved west, it continued to bring heavy rains and strong winds. In the town of Adelaide River, more than 200 millimeters of precipitation were recorded in 24 hours. Hundreds of residents of the remote settlement Nambulwar were evacuated to Darwin as a precaution. It should be noted that along the trajectory of Narelle, the ocean temperature exceeded average levels by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, which explains the unusual strength of the cyclone for the region. The Coral Sea, where the tropical cyclone formed, is one of the oceanic areas that has warmed by almost half a degree over the past decades. Brazil. In mid-March, a cyclone formed in the Atlantic off the southeastern coast of Brazil, which remained almost stationary for 5 days. According to meteorologists, the reason for this unusual behavior was a blocking anticyclone that prevented the cyclone from moving into the open ocean. As a result of the disruption of air mass circulation, destructive storms occurred in a number of states in Brazil. On March 18th, a downpour struck the city of Maracaju in Mato Grosso do Sul state. In 1 hour, 121 millimeters of precipitation fell, which led to the flooding of a state school, a wholesale supermarket, and residential buildings. Streets were submerged, and traffic jams formed on the approach to the BR 267 roundabout. More than half of the monthly precipitation norm for March fell in just 4 days in the city of Santarém in Pará state. In 19 districts in the disaster zone, more than 2,000 people were affected, and more than 430 were left without housing. On March 21st, an extratropical cyclone that formed off the coast of Argentina caused dangerous weather phenomena in the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul. Against the backdrop of nearly 40-degree heat, strong winds and rains hit the region. In the city of Uruguaiana, the storm tore off roofs, knocked down trees and power line poles. In the city center, a swimming pool collapsed from the roof of a building, and in the União das Vilas area, wires sagging after the storm struck a passing motorcyclist. In the municipality of Alegrete, metal sheets from a destroyed building were scattered through the streets. In Restinga Seca, fallen trees blocked the ERS 149 highway, and in the municipality of Taquari, more than 10,000 homes were left without power supply. In Passo Fundo, a tree fell onto a bus and a passenger car. Flooding in the northern part of the state began on March 22nd after heavy rains, the amount of which exceeded 100 millimeters. In recent years, the ocean has been warming faster than predicted. Recent studies show that this warming affects not only the surface, but also its bottom layers. The ocean floor is an active geological environment through which thermal energy is constantly transferred to the water. Submarine volcanoes, faults, mid-ocean ridges, and hydrothermal vents form a true deep heating circuit of the planet. When the geodynamic activity of the Earth intensifies, as is observed today, the heat flow from below increases, and the ocean receives additional energy. And despite numerous studies confirming the significant contribution of geothermal energy to ocean warming, this component is still almost entirely ignored in most climate models. Why is this important? Because the ocean acts as a planetary thermostat, redistributing and removing heat to stabilize the climate. But today, its ability to cool is disrupted by micro and nanoplastic, which prevents the natural dissipation of heat, turning the ocean into an energy trap. As a result, we are already witnessing a rapid increase in the number and intensity of natural disasters worldwide, and this is only the beginning. We cannot wait until catastrophes reach a new level, and megastorms, megatornadoes, and mega-hurricanes become the norm. And if we do not take action now, the consequences of geodynamic activity combined with our interference in natural processes through plastic pollution will become far stronger than anything humanity has faced before.